Hey everyone, it's Diego Reyes for CNN Philippines 10, where we break down major stories from here and abroad into bite-sized facts in 10 minutes. Prices of basic goods rose slower for the fourth straight month in May. Inflation eased to 6.1% last month from April 6.6%. The Philippine Statistics Authority says one major driver is the slower price movement in the transport sector. But food remains to be the top contributor to headline inflation, including rice prices, which have been going up since February. Other commodities under the food basket that contributed to inflation were sugar, onion, bread, and egg. Despite the downward trend, National Statistician Dennis Mapa says he is not discounting the possibility of an upturn in prices. The National Economic and Development Authority says it is confident that the government can hit its 2 to 4% inflation target in 2023. The Energy Department has launched its first ever battery electric vehicle bus units and charging station in Taguig. This aligns with the government's aim to speed up the commercialization of electric vehicles in the Philippines to reduce carbon emissions and lessen dependence on fossil fuels. The buses will be used for DOE official business trips within the country. Energy Secretary Rafael Lotilla, however, says other agencies will adopt the program as the government intensifies efforts to make electric vehicles accessible for commuters.
We recognize the importance of driving this transition towards sustainable transportation, as the transportation sector is the major consumer of imported carbon-based fuel.
The DOE spent almost 60 million pesos for the two pure electric vehicle bus units and charging station. It says the government also aims to procure electric buses and vehicles for up to 10% of the total EVs in various agencies.
Our clean energy scenario, the more aggressive one, we're targeting that at least 50% of the fleets by 2040 will be electric.
Republic Act 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act was signed into law in 2001. More than 20 years later, the Philippines is still not winning the war against solid waste, at least for single-use plastics. Environment Secretary Antonia Loizaga explains the predicament on single-use plastics has an attached social issue.
For certain sectors of our economy, single-use plastic is the only recourse for their use on a daily basis, whether it is to purchase their daily food or for other uses that they need in order to actually go through their day-to-day activities.
Aside from RA 9003, various local government units have their own ordinances to limit plastic waste. Still, DENR data show 30 to 40% of the 60,000 metric tons of solid wastes collected every day are plastic. Loizaga admits it is difficult to find a material that could replace the durability of plastic. She recommends investing in chemistry.
We need to do the research to identify the proper product that will replace single-use plastic. And if we're not able to do that, we're not going to be able to wipe it out.
Quezon City is among the LGUs that is very strict in its regulation of single-use plastics. Quezon City Hall official Andrea Villaroman says it took them 8 years before totally banning plastic bags and single-use plastic. And the city will step it up a little further through its Kuha sa Tingi project that will encourage the public to veer away from sachet products.
Walang maliit na contribution para sa environmental management. So each of us has a role to play para maging kapaki-pakinabang ang ating mga gawain at environment friendly ang ating practices.
And news from San Miguel Corporation. The conglomerate remains committed to reviving the country's rivers. Since 2020, its employees and partners have been working on its river cleanup projects, clearing 42 kilometers of waterways across 4 river systems that pass through more than 20 cities. As of June 5, SMC has removed nearly 3 million tons of silt and solid wastes from Tulyahan River, Pasig River, Bulacan River systems, and San Juan River. Over 390,000 doses of Pfizer's bivalent shots recently arrived in the country from Lithuania. The health department says the donated vaccines cover both the original COVID-19 strain and its Omicron variant. The shots will be given as a third booster for healthcare workers and senior citizens. For public health advocate Dr. Tony Leachon, the vaccine should be commercially available so those who would like to get boosted would have access to it. The Philippine team finishes its campaign at the 12th Asian Para Games in Cambodia in 5th place. Our athletes bring home a total of 34 gold, 33 silver, and 50 bronze medals from the regional meet, more compared to its previous outing in Indonesia last year. Chess trio Dari Bernardo, Arman Subaste, and Menandro Redor brought home the country's 34th and final gold medal after winning in the men's team blitz B2/B3 event. Meanwhile, the country is sending 6 athletes in the Special Olympics World Games happening from June 17th to 25th in Berlin, Germany. They will compete in events such as bocce, athletics, and swimming. Olympian and 8-time SEA Games gold medalist Akiko Thompson Guevara will serve as the Philippine team's head of delegation.
Really believe that if given the opportunity, these athletes could really surprise us with their abilities. And so the World Games happens, Summer Games happen every 4 years. In between is a Winter Games. 170 countries are participating, expecting 7,000 athletes competing in 24, 25 sports.
Masaya po ako na sumali po ako sa mga sports. Saka yung mga natatakot po na sumali sa sports ay huwag po silang matakot kasi po marami po silang matututunan po sa Special Olympics po.
Sandara Park and her production team have chosen Clark, Pampanga as its filming location for some episodes of the Korean show Idol Truck. Sandara is joined by her fellow K-pop stars Jinu of Winner, Aaron and JR of New East, and rapper Dindin. Before arriving, Sandara even tweeted about her excitement on her first visit to Clark. Filipino Margie Lorenzana Mansky was awarded as the Outstanding Pastry Chef at the 2023 James Beard Awards, which is equivalent to the Oscars in the culinary world. Margie was nominated 6 times before getting the award. She is known for her unique techniques. Among her specialties are Basque cheesecake and banana cream pie. Margie grew up in the Philippines. As young as 6, she has been experimenting on baking, until she formally studied culinary arts in New York. Margie is now based in Los Angeles and runs her restaurant, Republic. Here in the country, she also has a restaurant, Wildflower Cafe, and bakery. Filipino physicist Dr. Jason Cosme of the UP Diliman National Institute of Physics, along with 6 other German-based researchers, have discovered a new way to build a dark quantum matter. The dark quantum matter doesn't absorb nor reflect, so it can't be seen in an ordinary laboratory. Their study was published in the prestigious international science journal Physical Review Letters. The research was Dr. Cosme's pet project after his postdoctorate studies in Germany. He says it's not impossible to do a science breakthrough as long as there's support from the government or private institutions.
We have the talent, essentially. Yeah, we have the talent to do these things, to actually make meaningful impact to science on a global scale. Yeah, fundamentally, there's nothing that stops a Filipino can do that. Any Filipino can do that.
For Pokemon fans who want to travel with Pikachu, a special airplane with Pokemon Air Adventures design was recently spotted in Manila. It's from the Japanese airline All Nippon Airways. The aircraft features iconic flying Pokemons like Rayquaza and Charizard. And now, for 10-second trivia. What is the hottest planet in the Milky Way? Earth, Mars, Mercury, or Venus? The hottest planet in the Milky Way is Venus. Its thick atmosphere is full of carbon dioxide with clouds of sulfuric acid. The atmosphere traps heat, making it feel like a furnace on the surface with temperatures reaching around 470 degrees Celsius. And that's it for CNN Philippines 10. I am Diego Reyes, giving you news you can use, news you can trust in 10 minutes. Thanks for joining me today, and see you again next time.